Hey y'all. Good morning. I'm trying my back camera for the professional clear camera look. I don't know if it's working, if I even got my face in the camera, but let's get started with my story. I've been trying to make this video for a while. Not even for a while, but since I posted that I was going to make my story. Um I just don't, I'm not sure how I want to word it, if I'm going to be missing information, so on and so forth. I don't know. So I'm just going to take it slow and get right into it. So, um, in 2024, I had me another little boy, a third. What is wrong with me? Anyways, I had me a third son, and yes, I am a single mother. Again. To a third child, which is cool, especially with the predicaments. I'm not even asking for much. I like it. I'm not complaining. If it was something different, then maybe I might, but no, I'm good. Um, so with me coming out there with the news that I just had a baby in 2024, which is obviously something that may not be acceptable to some, especially within religion. Having children, having sex before marriage, I mean, that's not unheard of, especially over here with having two kids, but just not practicing uh, a holy sex life. I don't even know how to say it. Just, saving myself till marriage, that whole deal. So I didn't say anything about it, what was going on. I didn't say anything about my sexual relations that was going on. I felt like it would defeat the purpose in some of the things that I was going to be saying. Not necessarily defeat the purpose, but like, again, religious people especially get so hooked on things that aren't really the detail of it. You know what I mean? So they miss what was being said. They miss what's one. Anyways, yeah, so I kept a lot of it to myself. Even in real life, after a certain point of dealing with certain things for so long, repetitively, I just kept it all to myself. I had plenty of people to talk to, but I didn't have nobody to talk to. I did not want to talk to anybody about it. I was tired of hearing myself talk about it, so I didn't want to talk about it. So now that we are here, let's get into it and talk about it, And 2023, the beginning of the year, I met my son's father. And that man is a fine piece of chocolate, okay? I have more control over my flesh. So it's not like I'm jumping down the bones like I did. Anyways, yeah, when I first met him, I was like, oh, this brother is fine. That's my type. Hey, what's your number, sir? Hey, you know what I mean? I was sliding the digits. And me naturally, whenever I approach a guy, whether I'm attracted or not attracted, my first instinct is always friend or foe. You know what I mean? Friend or foe. But friend, ultimately, is where my mind is at. But I think, I don't know, maybe like a day or two after talking, I was like, oh, this guy's not only physically attractive, but he seems to be mentally attractive. So I jumped the bones on it, okay? To say it plain, not saying it plain as day, but just to throw it out there, I got on there. Yeah. And I think that was my downfall with this all, is because I allowed my desires to be a part of my decision making. You know what I mean? Okay, maybe not. Let me tell you the story. So, um, again, I would say I started off with friendly vibes, obviously being sexual, but I started off with friendly vibes, and it's just like, the way I talk here is the way I talk in real life. It's nothing different at all. And, I just remember being in a conversation with this feller and always being pulled down in the conversation. And I didn't mind it because I'm not new to haters, you know what I mean? Especially when they're in the same household. Like, I grew up with the haterism, so it wasn't bothering to me. It was more so of the confusion of conversation, the misdirection of conversation, the conversation wasn't conversating. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can give, what is that called? Criticism, and still have a conversation. But this was criticism, and this is the end. You should not talk no more. You are just stupid. You look dumb. And at first, I was very combative with it because I am hard-headed and I have an attitude. And so, once I realized this combativeness of who I am as a person with my child's father is maybe a little too, I don't want to say high level. I don't want to say it like that. But the way he be coming down at me is like, God damn, like, I might be on a high horse, my nigga, the way you're acting. Shit. Get you one. Get off the little pony. Anyways. After a while of going through this, and again, it wasn't like, oh, I hate him, I don't like him, I'm not going to talk to him. It wasn't like that, because I really don't mind it, I swear to God. It obviously irritates me, it obviously bothers me, where I have an attitude and talk back, whatever. But to continually dealing with somebody is okay. For so long. I'm trying to get to a point. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, so yes, again, after so many early conversations of what it felt like him down pulling me, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't met with curiosity. It was met with negativity, contradictions. Anyways, just get past it. So I looked at that as a opportunity because before he even came into my life, I'm already learning about love. I am already learning about my attitude. I'm already doing certain things in my own personal life with Jesus that by the time he stepped in, my mindset was thinking, okay, this is how me and this person is going to go. Because this is what I'm assuming through prayer and, having things going on before he came. So I'm thinking, oh shoot, prayers answered. All right, fella, come on in. Let me not do too much, okay? I'm sorry, you guys. My flesh was definitely in the way. But yeah, so once I found out it's not so friendly, I'm sorry, I keep repeating myself, saying it multiple different ways. Once I found out it wasn't so friendly, I seen that it could be opposition for an opportunity. I was like, all right, fine, let's get it. This may not be the way I thought it was supposed to be in my assumptions and prayers and all those other things, but I can still make it work. Because obviously, I see this man triggering me like crazy. And it was different because I've already done some work before he came in while doing work while in the, whoa, that sounds kind of crazy. I mean in the house, in my life. Okay. So, it's like the work that I was doing with the Lord kind of was like getting knocked out the park by my flesh. And not like the sexual side of it all, but my personality, like my attitude, my hard-headedness. I've worked on my patience. But, just these little things that I had a good grip on in my household before he came around. And then once he came in, again, like I said, I'm working on these things already and have been and still is at that moment. So when I realized it wasn't what it was looking, I was like, all right, cool. I'm about to use this as an opportunity. I thought we were supposed to be holding hands together, skipping down the yellow brick road. But no, we're not holding hands together. We're still skipping down the yellow brick road, but just not holding hands. That's in my mind. Friend, foe. Friends, you holding hands. Foes, you're not. So you can still walk down. You can still walk together. So I thought, right? And it led me to not just battling with my flesh and getting certain things together, I suppose, with God, that I was battling him so much upon me that I finally learned how to not do it. And then once I learned how to hear differently and speak differently, like once these good kingdom habits started kicking in, I realized, like, which is obvious, even without the work of God. I'm not trying to be funny because health is health. You know what I mean? Health is wealth. Uh, I could tell that he was projecting. Okay, I'm not trying to sound funny on Jesus, and I think Jesus knows this. But I don't think you really need much of a Bible to know what projecting is. And so, with me knowing that before Jesus, I didn't have the best way of approaching it with Jesus. I had a better way. It wasn't the best way, but it was getting better. But at the same time, as it was getting better, and again, instead of me before just pushing off everything he said back onto him, because in my head, you're just projecting, I'm stupid. No, brother, you're stupid. I'm a hoe. No, brother, use the hoe, okay? Baby, let's not. So I was doing a lot of that. But then again, the growth is coming. The growth is coming. The growth is coming. I'm learning how to stop myself, my attitude, my conversations, my cackling mouth, my short temper, pop off. You feel me? I learned how to, again, stop me, my flesh in these moments, and learn how to come towards a brother or a sister in an area that I may not have much knowledge in, much self-control in. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Basically, I was just trying to hold the bag for dude. Once I realized I didn't have to hold his bag with my name on it. Like, that's his bag with his name on it. And he's trying to hand it to me saying it's my name, but it's not. So I kept on shoving it back, the trash bag. But when he finally put his name on the trash bag, I was like, oh, yeah, see, yeah, this is your trash right here. But then I ended up holding it for myself. And again, I came into a place of being non-combative with this stuff that it snuck up on me creepily in the times of me being quiet and not wanting to talk to anybody and repeat myself and hear the same story over and over again. Because I was really trying. In my opinion, I feel like I was trying. I'm not the best person, okay? This is Kiera Chalet Wolfter. Anyways, I feel like I was definitely trying my best. But when it all comes down to the end of it all, I feel like greater works could have been done if I didn't allow my flesh to be in the way. If I wasn't having sexual intimacy with him and having sexual desires of him or about him, whatever. Like, I feel like if I had closed that off, I'm not ungrateful for my child. That's a blessing. That's another story. But I feel like if I just had not did what I did, which I tried not doing after so long because I knew I wasn't supposed to, and I kept on telling dude this, and he just didn't hear, and I wasn't strict on my boundaries. So it was a lot of push and shove going on, and that was definitely my season of me learning what it looks like to be a pushover in Jesus, because I already know what it looks like to be a pushover in myself, in the world. But then again, like I said, I'm learning to be what it is to be a pushover in Jesus. And I'm not saying I am a pushover because Jesus said I am. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, I'm taking my flaws to the Lord, and this is what I got. I'm interpreted as a pushover, Lord. Please help me understand what this pushover is. And I learned a lot that year. Like, I believe I still am a pushover. I believe there is certain things that people can still probably do. But now I have a voice to have boundaries. Now I have a voice to say no. And it's not an attitude. It's not me being hard-headed. It's not me cackling back. It's not a thought without love. It's not a thought without a plan in place. You know what I mean? I wasn't... Anyways, it's the same as I used to do in my flesh, but with God is different because you are literally asking him for every step and direction and way. And I feel like that is, for me, that's what really deteriorated me towards the end of this whole shenanigans is because one of my big things that I stand on with Jesus is trusting in myself through him. Because I can't trust myself and me. So that right there is a personal thing between me and him. And so as I was doing these things in the time of knowing this man, I wasn't completely confident in everything I was doing. But with the role I was on with God, aside from the sin, it felt like the right decisions, other than the sexual part. I'm not even gonna cap, but again, that's just a learning situation. I can't go back and just take it away. There's a whole baby here now. Can't do that. But and I'm sorry if this camera angle is poopy. Again, I'm using the back of my phone for a better camera. But yeah, I think I made some great decisions. I made some great growth. Great growth in the Lord. Great decisions. I don't really want to say in the Lord and just place that on him like that. But from my aspect, I was trying my best to be in the Lord and make correct decisions, making correct responses. Like, yeah. I definitely tried. And I just kept on hearing the Lord, I trust you, Kiera. I trust you. So I was just getting hyped because it's like, oh man, that's one of our intimate things. Like, let's go, let's build and stuff like that. And it's like, when it all came down, it's like, sheesh, what was I thinking? What was I doing? Why did you let me? Why did I let myself? Like, am I stupid? Like, what's going on here, buddy? And it's like, no, because though what I know what I was going through was wrong, though I know what I was doing was wrong, I still had the hope and perseverance to keep going. And I honestly still would. I just can't deal with wickedness that plots and plans 24 hours without sleeping. Like, you can be an enemy, but I don't want you thinking about me all day, okay? I want you to get your rest and your peace. Because you can't bring chaos if you're already in chaos. Like, you are the chaos. Like, there's no plan in place. Anyways, yeah, just feeling again deteriorated from it all. I might post a couple more videos about my year in 2024 just to get it fully out, because I'm rambling so much that I'm just talking and not really going in a chronicle order, or I can't think chronically while talking. And so I'm maybe missing some details, or maybe I want to speak on something that I have not spoken on. But I feel like I have done mostly, and about him mostly. I don't want you guys to think I'm trying to dog him or drag him, because I think dude's cool peoples. It's just not my peoples. I just remember telling him, like, the floor is crashing, dude. It's falling through every single time, man. Every time. And I was getting upset because it's like, when I met dude, I could tell he was one of them dudes. I don't want to call him fast. I don't want to call him a hoe. But I don't want to call him player. Oh, him. He's him. That's what they call themselves nowadays. Grown ass men. It's crazy. Anyways, yeah, he's him. He's one of them. An alpha. So it's like, I see you, G. I'm not mad about it. I'm not judging you. You feel me? I'm just here to be friends. Parlay. Hey. And then again, like I said, my fleshly desires got up in there, and it became more than... I try to leave it at friends while being sexual. I'm not gonna lie, because I already seen how dude is and how he was, and so I try to tell him in the beginning, which this may sound crazy to y'all, but hey, I try to tell dude, like, it sounds like you have a life full, if you understand what I'm saying, life full of them. And so don't feel obligated to me. Don't do too much with me. don't know me, okay? Let's just keep it simple on rocking and knocking. Because that's cool. That's cool. That's cool with me. I'm not looking for an intimate. I'm not looking for commitment. I'm not looking for deal breakers. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm 20-something years old, 2 kids later. Like, I kind of know at this point how I want my sexual life to be when it's just sex. But he wasn't going because he's toxic. And I see that toxicity, and I was trying to tell him, brother, go play the game with somebody else and still come here and get what you need to get, but then leave and go play the game with somebody else. Like, I don't like playing games, brother. But he didn't get it. He didn't want to hear it, didn't want to believe it, and played itself eventually. And then with me being the person I am, it ended up playing the game with him. Anyway, so like I was saying, the floor was crashing and crashing and crashing, and I don't know why I was even stressing about it, because I knew the type of person he was. I knew how things were going. It wasn't nothing as it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Again, I just remember telling him the floor is crashing, and then after I remember telling him this in desperation, I suppose, and he's not listening to me because he's never listened to me unless I'm talking about doing something funky. You feel me? Men. Anyways, I remember thinking to myself, like, God, why in the world is this foundation crashing between the two of us? Like, is this what we doing, or is this not what we doing? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is going on? What is needed for this foundation? And it's like, obviously, Jesus is the foundation of anything and everything. And I thought he was the foundation in that. But then when that floor kept on breaking, it made me see. It made me done. I'll just say that, honestly. It made me done trying with him in a godly, spiritual way. Like, I don't want to say in a rude way or a crazy way or diabolically. I just treated him like a regular old human being. Like, you're just a stranger to me that is really cool and we can be friends. You are not somebody that is intertwined and interlocked into my life that I sound like my sister, low-key. They can say it like that. Because I don't do the whole... Anyways. I don't know. The foundation was crashing. I remember thinking about that and then taking it to God. And that's when I started to learn how to... Again, this is always learning how to love and how to put down my attitude. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again with these 2 things and multiple other subjects, but in many different ways. Because I've grown up for 20-some years of my life, and so I have 20 years worth of different ways of having an attitude. 20 years worth of having different ways of having a hard head. Whether it comes to the environment, the culture, the race, the time of day. Like, you have to be able to adapt yourself to the environment. Like, you can't be like, ghetto ass Sharkeisha being ghetto. Like, you have to be ghetto Becky sometimes. Like, you know what I mean, bitch? Like, you see what I'm saying? So, there was a lot of breaking down going on. And, again, I'm trying to understand about this foundation breaking and all this other stuff. So I stopped again with the attitudes and the talking back, the bibber babber, the defensiveness for no reason. I mean, I had a reason. But when it comes to things like that, it's really no reason. Like, it just triggers you. That's the reason. It's triggering. But past that, there is no reason. And I learned that. But, yeah, so I learned how to actually start trying to build. I don't want to say with people. I don't want to say with a spouse. But with somebody that... I haven't had many growing relationships in my life. Like, they've always stayed the same. There's never been a hard time where we had to learn how to get in there together and grow together to get past it. I've never had those moments in my life, I think, maybe besides family, and not even that. We just get past it. Like, we don't even grow through it. We just go past it like it never happened. But, yes. So I remember this feller Same fella I'm talking about. He used to be on my butt. Because, baby, I know I'm fine. But, like, you know, the controlling aspect of men that women do not like. You can't wear this. You can't talk like that. You can't walk like this. You can't have that. And so he was doing that with me upon friends that were my friends before I met him. And I'm a tomboy. Not really so now, but I'm a nigga bitch. Not a bitch nigga, but a nigga bitch. So I like guys. Obviously. But I kick it with dudes. I vibe with dudes better than females. The homies. The brothers. Like, I like the male nostalgic. It's cool, it's calm, it's laid back. Girls just yiki, and I can't. I do it enough for myself. I'm good. So yes, he was doing this, and I was this controlling thing, and I was being very battling. Again, like I said, this most of the time until I learned. Battling. You sound stupid, boy. I don't even do this. I don't even do that. He is a friend. I never even looked at him like that. Oh my God, you're so annoying. You have low self-esteem. You feel me? Like, outpour of nothing. Trying to be defensive and battling. It did nothing. It was not proactive. And again, that's one another thing that God helped me with is hearing my words of attitudes. But yeah, once God taught me how to put myself aside, or maybe I was already doing that, but God was showing me like how I was doing it. And anyways, I don't want to involve God's name and too much of this because I don't have a real reason why. I just don't want to be speaking on him and he'd be like, girl, stop, please. So I'm just going to save the godly banter for the end, I suppose. In the moments, I will say it. But like lessons learned, I'll save it at the end. Yes. I'm battling him about this controlling of me and how I'm not this and how I'm not that and no, you're low self-esteem, stuff like this. And I realized those type of conversations don't work. Whether I am right and he is wrong, or he is right and I am wrong, or we're both wrong, or we're both right. It didn't matter the instance because it wasn't helpful, even though I felt justified by cackling back. What felt better to me, I don't want to say it was compromise, but compromise, honestly. Again, the one thing about putting myself to the side was that. And because I know who I am as a person and what I do and how I do and what I think, blah, 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 blah. So when it comes to a man wanting to control that, it's very nerve-wracking because, baby, you didn't even push this body out the pussy. You didn't carry this motherfucker for 9 months. You did not raise this motherfucker. You did not put no money on child support to say what it can and cannot do. You feel me? Like, the attitude's still there. I'm just a little bit working. But anyways, as I'm having these conversations, I'm like, all right, sir, I still have this attitude towards you about you trying to control me. But instead of it just being that, let's find some ways that me and you can both come together and agree upon that is a boundary for this. And I only started to do that because we got in a relationship. If we never got in a relationship, I would have never probably even tried. I'm not even gonna lie. Thank the Lord for growth. Anyways, we came to a compromise. We came to an agreement. Nothing too drastic for me and my household because we stay in 2 separate households. I don't need you to control my household and my body. But we came to an agreement that I thought was pretty cool and decent. I'm not going to cap that I was willing to respect and abide by, which I think I did until a certain point of, breaking up. There's no need to respect the nigga no more. Anyways. we came to an agreement of it, and it felt like a great place to me. Honest to God, it felt like a breakthrough. It felt like a hurrah moment. And then I don't even know. Maybe not even a week later, I'm at his place. But one of his friends come by and he says they're mental in the head. Don't mind them. They're crazy. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I like crazy, but I got you. And in the midst of this hanging, his friend is talking about, why ain't you text me, a pretty lady? I don't know. It's been a while now. It's been, I think, about like 2 years since this happened. And I'm pretty sure I was drinking at the time too. So I don't want to just say words as if I just remember them. But pretty much it seemed like dude was acting as if he knew me. It seemed like. I didn't pay no damn mind. Because dude just said, my nigga at the time just told me he's crazy in the head. So I didn't pay no mind to it. I'm just, You know, when a Chinese person or some foreign person talking, oh, ding dong, That's all I was doing. I'm like, I didn't want to be doing too much with it, okay? So I just, oh, your turn, spades, yay, something. But anyways, after the fact, this nigga, the old nigga, had to nerve, which is okay. It's okay. Let me calm down. Let me calm down. It's okay. But he had the nerve to ask me if I really knew dude and was chopping it up with him. If y'all would have seen this man, he looked like a motherfucking panhandler standing on the side of the street. I'm not judging. But if I'm telling you, you are my type, and then you look at your friend. So, you know, after us just having a conversation about this control thing and coming to agreements and all these other things, I did express to him how I feel about when he does these things. When you say I can't have my guy friends around because of this and because of that, it kind of hurts me because I know I'm not a hoe, and I feel like you think I'm a hoe or you calling me a hoe. It hurts me. Can you not do those things? So that was a part of the discussion of control as well. For him, not only for me, but for him as well to control himself and his language and his dialogue and his mentalness. Because he still has that low self-esteem aspect, even though we are coming to a compromise. It's just not for me to call out on. It's for him to call out on. Okay? And even though we did just have that conversation and then he hit me with this, you looking at dude conversation. I let it brush off lightly. Because again, I know we just had this conversation. And so I just was really there to pat him on his back. You know what I mean? To console him in his mental space of what the fuck was going on in his head. It had to been hell. Because I don't understand. Boys' fingers. Okay, let me stop. I don't want to talk about nobody. But, yeah, I just let it go. I let it slide, you know? I'm like, no, dude. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, I didn't explain to